So 1967 was a great year of movies. Only 1939 to maybe 1977, 78 era compares. But this movie stands out, not only one of Audrey Hepburn's best performances, if not her best. I think she was robbed of an Oscar. It established two kind actors, or he did mostly kind roles, as villains. And they were not, say, typecast by this, but we saw them in different light and got more roles for it. This, of course, includes Alan Arkin and Richard Crenna, who basically played heroes. They play dual criminals. Now, Wait Until Dark came out in 1967. It's a psychological thriller, but I think it's film noir, literally. Directed by Terrence Young and produced by the great Mel Ferrer, from a screenplay by Robert Carrington and Jane Howard Carrington, based on a 1966 play of the same name by Frederick Knott. The film again stars the ingenue Hepburn as a blind woman, Alan Arkin as a violent criminal searching for drugs, and Richard Crenna as another criminal, supported by Jack Weston, Julie Harrod, and Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. Now, Hepburn was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Actress in 1967, and Zimbalist was nominated for the Golden Globe Award for Best Supporting Actor Motion Picture. Now, the film is ranked number 55 on AFI's 2001 100 Years, 100 Thrills list, and its climax is ranked 10th on Bravo's 100 Scariest Movie Moments, because literally the cine goes to black. Now, a woman named Lisa takes a flight from Montreal to New York City, smuggling bags of heroin sewn inside an old-fashioned doll. Now, ironically, that opening scene caused the movie to be banned with certain jurisdictions in Canada, run by the Catholic Church, because it felt it was demeaning Canadians. But it didn't last long. Now, when she disembarks, Lisa becomes worried upon seeing a man watching her at the airport and gives the doll to a fellow passenger, professional photographer Sam Hendrick, for safekeeping. She is roughly escorted away by the other man. A few days later, con artist Mike Talman and Carlino arrive at the apartment of Sam and his blind wife Susie, believing it to be Lisa's. Harry Roth, the man who met Lisa at the airport, arrives to persuade Talman and Carlino to help him find the doll. After the con men discover Lisa's body in Susie's apartment, Roth blackmails them into helping him dispose of it and convincing them to help him find the doll. While Sam is on a photography assignment, the criminals begin an elaborate con game, using Susie's blindness against her and posing as different people to win her trust. Implying that Lisa has been murdered and that Sam will be suspected, the men persuade Susie to help them find the doll. Mike, posing as Sam's old army buddy, gives her a number for the phone booth across the street as his own after falsely warning her of a police car outside the residence. Now, Gloria, a girl who lives upstairs who had borrowed the doll earlier, sneaks in to return it. She reveals to Susie that there's no police car outside. After calling Mike and realizing it is the phone booth's number, Susie realizes that the three men are criminals and hides the doll. She tells them the doll is at Sam's studio, and the three leave after Roth cuts the telephone cord. So this is the MacGuffin, Hitchcock style, because how much heroin would be in a doll? And why would you do something so obvious to be captured? Now, Carlino stays behind to stand guard outside the building. Susie eventually sends Gloria to the bus station to wait for Sam. When she discovers that the telephone cord has been cut, she prepares to defend herself by breaking all the light bulbs in the apartment except for the safe light. When Mike returns, he realizes that she knows the truth and demands the doll, but she refuses to cooperate. He tells her that he has sent Carlino to kill Roth. However, having anticipated her plan, Roth has killed Carlino instead, and he kills Mike on the doorstep of Susie's apartment. Now, intent on acquiring the doll, Roth threatens to set the apartment on fire. Susie throws a chemical at Roth's face and unplugs the safe light as the apartment is plunged into darkness. Roth uses matches to see, but Susie douses him with gasoline, forcing him to put out the match. Roth finally produces light by opening the refrigerator. Susie, realizing she's lost the battle, pulls the doll out from its hiding place and hands it to him. When Roth is distracted with it, Susie arms herself with a kitchen knife, stabs him, and flees. She was unable to escape the chain front door and decides to escape through the kitchen window, but while she is fleeing to the kitchen window, Roth suddenly lunges at her and grabs her ankle. Jump scare. She wrenches free and conceals herself behind the refrigerator door. Just as Roth stands to stab her, she unplugs the refrigerator, leaving the darkness again. The police arrive with Sam and Gloria. Susie is found unharmed behind the refrigerator door, while the dead Roth rests nearby, disabled by a toppled shelf. Now, Alan Arkin plays three characters in this, as Harry Roth Jr. and Harry Roth Sr. Richard Crenna plays Mike Talman. Efren Zimbalist plays Sam, Susie's husband. Jack Weston plays Carlino. Samantha Jones as Lisa. Julie Harrod as Gloria. Robbie Benson has an early part as a boy tossing ball, with Mel Ferrer playing a French-Canadian radio speaker, and Packy McFarlane as the passerby. So, the soundtrack, it was composed again by Hepburn alumni Henry Mancini, who had scored other Audrey Hepburn films such as Breakfast at Tiffany and Two for the Road. The Wait Until Dark score is notable for Mancini's use of two pianos, 2 1/4 tone apart, with the wrong notes echoing the right ones to add the eerie effect. Now, the soundtrack came out on film score in 2007. Now, to immerse viewers in the suspense of the climactic scene, movie theater owners dimmed their lights to legal limits and then turned them off one by one until the audience were in complete darkness. The film was one of the most popular of the year, with North American rentals just for 67 at 7.4 million. Now, Bosley Crowther called it a barefaced melodrama without character revelation of any sort, outside the demonstration of a person with a fortitude to overcome an infirmity. I think that's giving is less. Audrey Hepburn didn't play Audrey Hepburn in this movie. She played a blind woman. You see her, and you don't think it's Audrey Hepburn. You see her playing a blind woman. Now, Crowther's like Hepburn's performance, saying the sweetness with which Miss Hepburn plays the poignant role, the quickness with which she changes, and the skill with which she manifests terror attract sympathy and anxiety to her and give her genuine solidity in the final scenes. Now, Time magazine said the film had a better scenario, set, and cast than the play's Broadway production that preceded it, and while the story is full of holes as a kitchen colander, Hepburn's honest, posture-free performance helps to suspend the audience's disbelief, and she's immersely aided by the heavies, Weston, Crenna, and Arkin. With virtuosity, Hepburn and Arkin collaborate to revive an old theme, the helpless girl against the odds, that has been out of fashion since Doreen Maguire and Barbara Stanwyck screamed for help in A Spiral Staircase and Sorry, Wrong Number. But Hepburn doesn't play a victim here. She plays a blind person trying to figure out what's going on, and she has her own way of getting out of situations. Now, Roger Ebert liked the movie, gave it 3.5 stars, and wrote, Hepburn is perhaps too simple and trusting, and Alan Arkin as a sadistic killer is not particularly convincing. I don't believe it. He was very convincing. An exaggerated performance. This is not an exaggerated performance. He's a freaking psychopath murderer. I mean, what else are you going to feel? Now, there are some nice juicy passages of terror, including that famous moment where every adolescent girl in the theater screams, and after a slow start, the plot does seduce you. Rotten Tomatoes reported that 96% of critics had given the film a positive review based on 25 reviews, with an average rating of 8.1 out of 10. The critical consensus reads, nail-bindingly tense and brittlely acted. Wait Until Dark is a compact thriller that makes the most of his fiendishly clever premise. At Metacritic, the film has a weighted average score of 81, based on 9 critics. And again, the film was ranked 10th on Bravo's 100 Scariest Movie Moments. Now, ironically, we're hearing rumors before that. I wasn't old enough to understand it, but my dad heard it. She was saying this was going to be her big movie before she took a break for the cinema. Now, despite the film's acclaim and receiving an Oscar nomination, she stepped away from film acting after Wait Until the Dark's release and would not appear on film again until Robin and Marion. Of course, Hepburn very involved in international causes. But we were under the impression she was sick for a little while too, which kind of a preamble of her passing away from cancer. Now, the idea, ladies and gentlemen, Audrey Hepburn, we're going to look over this very, very quickly. Her major roles brought her to stardom because she was doing a lot of interesting work. Now, the idea, she was a style icon, she was an acting icon. The film and stage roles were tremendous. She did some Broadway, but like I said, she was a very busy actress for a number of years. 67 was one of her better years for Two for the Road and Wait Until Dark. Then she took a break. She did They All Laugh for Bogdanovich in 81, supposed to be her big comeback, and she did Always in 89. Did a lot of TV productions as well. mostly in the early 1950s. Now, stage, of course, she did Gigi for 2 years. Funny she never got the big role, but it didn't work out. But, of course, she's an EGOT winner, Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony for obvious methods. It's weird about Audrey Hepburn, ladies and gentlemen. Some people didn't take her seriously as an actress. I did. I figured she was probably one of the most underrated modern actresses because she played a big diversity of roles. It's kind of weird here, ladies and gentlemen. The Oscars, she won, of course, for Roman Holiday, which was also nominated for Sabrina, The Nun Story, Breakfast at Tiffany's, and Wait Until Dark. She won the Gene Oral Show at the Humanitarian. Won an Emmy for Gardens of the World with Audrey Hepburn. Won a Grammy for Best Spoken Word Album for Children, Her Enchanted Tales, and Best Actress in a Play for Ondine, and won a Special Tony in '68. Also won a BAFTA, so not only EGOT, Golden Globes as well. She won Best Actress for Roman Holiday and won a Cecil B. DeMille Award. Also winner of the New York Film Critics Circle and Screen Actors Guild Lifetime Achievement. And quite a few humanitarian recognition through the years. But Wait Until Dark, if you've never seen it before, ladies and gentlemen, it's got to be seen to be believed because it's one of the most modern film noirs. There's no blood in the movie per se, but what Audrey Hepburn has gone through, I mean, it's a very emotional performance. It's well done. But Alan Arkin and Richard Crenna were basically considered heroes later on. Seeing Alan Arkin as a psychopathic killer, this is like seeing Gene Wilder as a murderer, like a serial killer, was very shocking. And yes, there was different jurisdictions in Canada. The movie was banned because not only of the content, but the fact is opening with a flight from Montreal to the States involving drugs. The local constabularies didn't like that too much. He said it was making Montreal, customs people look stupid. So, but Audrey Hepburn, we miss her passing a few years ago. What a gentle lady and what an icon. But to me, this is her best performance, in my personal opinion. It's not a studio performance. Everything she does is on the screen. She's doing it herself. It's not like a studio motivated performance. And like I said, the more I watch it, the more I love it. Have a good one. Bye.